everybody. So I'm doing another recipe from the plant-based cooked book that my brother's family got me for Christmas. And a shout out and a thank you to Sergio and family, which I should be showing you, but I don't have it here to show you. But I'll put a picture of it in the description. And what it is it's a pesto, but it's oil-free, which is wonderful. And it looks like it's really easy to make. Basically, you put all the ingredients into the food processor, and that's pretty much it. So, gotta love that. So what we're using is one medium-ripe avocado, 2 cups of frozen peas that are thawed, 1 tablespoon of water, and my peas weren't thawed enough, so I just cooked them just for a minute or two in the 1 tablespoon of water. It calls for 2 teaspoons of miso, but I'm using a full tablespoon. I'll tell you why in a minute. A cup and a half of packed basil leaves, and I got one of those plants from the grocery store, but it didn't have enough leaves to make a whole cup packed, so I added a tablespoon of dried basil to that. And didn't have enough to make a whole cup and a half packed, so I added a table of dry, because as you know, you use much less dry spices than fresh spices. So a cup of packed kale, or you can use spinach, 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice, which I have here, and then it calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of hot peppers, and 2 cloves of garlic, and I don't have any fresh garlic, so I'm just going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And so basically what we're going to do, what it also calls for is 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. And I don't use nutritional yeast only because it tastes so good, and then you just end up putting it in everything, and then after you put it in everything, you just start putting more of it in everything. So I just avoid it altogether. And so what I'm using instead of 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast is a little extra miso, and I think I'm going to throw in a small handful of walnuts. So instead of nutritional yeast, I'm using more miso and then a few walnuts as well, which I just grabbed out of my freezer. Okay, so let's put it all in the food processor. And you just put it in there until there's no bits of stems and things showing. So that was the 1 cup of kale, and you could use spinach instead. Here's the avocado, the miso, which I love, but I put in everything and then use more and more of it everything, turns out, and lemon juice, 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon, calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of hot peppers. I'm just going to use 1/8 teaspoon. Actually, I'm going to use less than that, because mine are kind of hot, and I could always add more. And then I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Looking at that, I think I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Alright, so there we have it. And you can use salt to taste. I'm not adding any. Oh, my walnuts. Thank you. And I'm just going to put in a small handful of walnuts, like about 8 walnut halves. And then we're going to let it go. Let's see what happens. Welcome back. So this has been blending for about 3 minutes, and I don't think it's going to blend down any further. I've also added a little bit of water to it, so it says you can add a little water to achieve the consistency you want. So I'm going with that consistency, which to me is kind of pesto-esque. And so let's taste it. Actually, honestly, I tasted it a second ago. It's really, really good. It's a lot like, it's a lot like regular pesto that's filled with oil and Parmesan cheese. It's quite delicious. So let's see what it's like on pasta. And it would be really good on toast, too. Yes, indeed. All right, see you in a little while after my walk. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, so welcome back. So I've got my pasta and vegetables cooked. And we're just having it on some shells with some mixed vegetables. So I'm putting those in there. And I'm going to add some of the pesto. And we were thinking this would also be really good as like a sandwich base, or like a wrap, like if you were to make a like a burrito shell. Like if you look back at my homemade burritos videos, make a burrito shell, right? And then spread some of this on it, and then put just like salad ingredients on it, like lettuce and olives and carrots and whatever you like, and roll it up like a wrap. It would make a great. I think it'd make a really delicious wrap. It's really, really good flavor. If you have folks who don't like things quite as spicy, you can leave out the garlic and the hot pepper, and then just add it to yours. Because you can definitely, like, you know, one of those things you can season after the fact. This says it's supposed to last 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. So I'm going to go out 3 days from now, and unless we eat this tomorrow again. But my goal is to see how well does it keep. You know how avocados can be. All right, so here it is. Dish it up. And it's really, really, as you can see, a beautiful pesto. And I'm just going to try a shell of it. It's delicious. It tastes like pesto. And it's really, really wonderful because it's great to be able to eat pesto without having to have all kinds of, you know, junky oils and cheeses and everything like that. So this is really, really wonderful. I would definitely make it. And once again, it's the second recipe I've made from this book where I haven't tried the recipe first. And it's been excellent. So it's a great book to get if you're looking for a nice oil-free vegan plant-based cookbook. And it's also gluten-free if you're gluten-free. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. God bless.